Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So in the last update, we went over some higher time frame analysis, looking at the correlation between the ES and Bitcoin, as well as a few nice setups on some altcoins like Link and Solana. But today what we're going to do is, this is going to be a bit more for the intraday sort of scalpers or the intraday traders. We're going to be looking at this range that has been forming in the last 4 or 5 days, which is being well respected, and I do think there's going to be some nice opportunities presenting themselves in the next coming hours or days. As always, before we jump into this, I am not a financial advisor. Everything I say in this video is for educational purposes. Also, guys, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. Smash that like button for the algorithm, guys. Okay, let's get straight into it. So, we have this high at 26,150 approximately, and this low at approximately 25,300. We have come up and we have SFP'd off of this high, which presented itself with a beautiful short position. So for those of you that managed to get into this trade, I know a lot of the guys within our Discord community, they got into this trade and made some insane profits. So well done to you. Now we are back at the center of this range, the 50% level of the range, which is pretty much the point of control. So we're not looking to get into any setups here. What we are looking for is another move to test this low down here at 25,300, or coming up once again to test 26,100. Now, if we do come up to the top of this range and we get rejected, right, we SFP the top of this range here where we have a bunch of liquidity sat above these local highs, we can check the reaction and look to get into some short positions. We just want to be managing our risk, putting stop losses just above the highs. Also, if we do come down here, the same can be done, but looking for longs, where we have these lows over here, where a bunch of liquidity will be sat beneath. So if we come down here, wick beneath, but gain acceptance back within the range, that would be a sign of strength for a long position. Now, there is another scenario that could play out. We could pump up above here, gaining acceptance above this range, and then we could look for the back test of this range to get into a long position. Both of these setups could be pretty nice, because if we do manage to get into short positions out here, I would be aiming for the bottom of the range once again, but we could finally get that drop down to the MPOC. So that would be a nice trade setup, 4 or 5% down to the MPOC. The same is to be said if we were to get into longs. So if we come down here and claim these lows and gain acceptance back within this range here, we could be looking at a nice pump to the upside to come back up and test 27K, which would be over 6%. So you definitely want to have this range here on your charts. You want to set alerts to make sure that you are alerted when price is unfolding, and don't get too excited. Just wait and see how it plays out. And whatever you do, make sure you know where your stop loss is going and you manage your risk before you enter the position, guys, because this could obviously go either way, and we want to be making sure that we are always covered in everything that we do. For those of you that haven't checked out my last video where I went over some higher time frame analysis for Bitcoin, Solana, the ES, and Link, I suggest you do that, because right now we're just going to be looking at lower time frame setups, correlating them with Bitcoin. So what we can see here is we've had this overall range here for the last 4 or 5 days, which, as I said before, has been correlating with what Bitcoin does. However, it has had a bit more strength. It's actually managed to break above this range. So if Bitcoin were to get that drop to the bottom of the range, depending on what Solana does, if Solana were to be at support here, at the same time Bitcoin finds support, we could be looking at a very nice entry at this backtest of the top of the range for Solana as well. So that's it for this short intraday setup update on Solana and Bitcoin. I hope you found value from this. If you did, smash that like button, and we will see you on the next one. Cheers.